Hey everyone, and welcome. My apologies there. Up yet, but welcome back to the Heroes Global Summer Circuit. This is the Malaysian Finals happening right now. My name is Arctic Shadow, and as you can hear from the laughter earlier on, my joining me is Bext. How are you doing, man?
Doing good, man. First game over. ABC taking it in a pretty decent fashion. Hainu put up a really good fight in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't like a dominant
Yep.
like fashion. They were not able to take down any other forts, so maybe you can say it was actually quite a dominant performance. But they did put up quite a bit of a fight. We did see a few glimpses of Hainun potentially coming back into it. But yeah, ABC ultimately came out on top 1-0. Just training and the potential did, the training and the scrims have been working out for Team A, B, and C, the experiences, whatnot. But game number 2 draft is underway now. Let's jump straight into it here between Team ABC and Hainun. And I'm excited, man. Finally, we got to see Illidan for the first time. Illidan was not being first banned, and we are going to see him picked up by Team ABC just like this. Snapped up straight away.
Yep, but on the other hand, though, two mages getting banned. First ban, Kilthas as well as Li Ming. What do you think about that one, Arctic?
Yeah, Li Ming, both tier 1 mages for sure, Li Ming and Kilthas. This just tells me that we're not going to see any mages in this game. Maybe not until right now. There aren't too many mages as well. I think there's only Kilthas, Li Ming, and Jaina. We will see another mage added, which is Medivh, I think. Medivh?
Yes.
Or is it Chromie? I think I'm not too sure. Chromie, I think, is mage. Chromie is the mage, sorry. So Chromie, which will be added, I think, May 27, something like that. So there are two new heroes going to be launched in Heroes in Chromie and Medivh. So that's going to be really interesting, especially Medivh. With we've seen the hero spotlight. He seems like a really interesting hero coming to Heroes for sure. So can't wait for that. But yeah, both mages, tier 1 mages being banned out here just tells me there's just not going to be any mages for this game. It's going to be, a really aggressive physical lineup, assassins, I guess. With Illidan being picked up for Team ABC, I think they're going to be running the no tank build. So expect a no tank build. I expect Tasada to be picked up and maybe a strong healing support like Rega, or definitely Rega is going to be picked up. Maybe even a Tasada here for sure, or maybe an Abathur. So we might see something like a no tank build coming from Team ABC, which is what usually happens when teams pick up an Illidan this early on. So we'll see how the draft goes. But no major is going to be played in this game. Both Kilthas and Li Ming being banned out. Unfortunate there. The map, of course, as we have not spoken about it, it's going to be Cursed Hollow, the biggest map in Heroes of the Storm right now. Not too sure why these maps are always picked up, though. In the Malaysian qualifiers as well as the Singapore qualifiers, we've always seen these 3 maps: Cursed Hollow, Infernal Shrines, and Battlefield's Eternity. It's always been these 3 maps, which is quite sad. I would like to see a few more other maps. Like Blackheart's Bay is a really fun map to cast.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, Hainun first picking the Falstad, which makes perfect sense on Cursed Hollow. Like you said, one of the biggest maps, if not the biggest maps on the Heroes pool right now.
It is the biggest map, I believe, in Heroes right now. So being Falstad already such a mobile hero, we've seen what he can do on smaller maps, medium to smaller maps where his mobility just helps him so much.
Ooh.
What more even on a big map this time around? And look at that. Hainun knew exactly what Team ABC were trying to do out there. They ban out the Abathur because that is one of the strats that you can usually see. Illidan with the Abathur, with the Rega and the Greymane, and maybe even Tasada to finish off the lineup would have been really, really strong. So they do ban out the Abathur, preventing the hat to be placed on Illidan. Uta is being shadow banned by Team ABC right now. They just don't really want to deal with the Divine Shields, especially the Divine Shield on ETC combination. They don't really want to give that to Hainun for sure. That way they can't cancel out the mosh pits coming out from Hainun. But the 2 hero pickups, as you mentioned earlier, it's going to be Falstad and ETC. Falstad, as we mentioned, the mobility, we've seen what he can do on smaller to medium maps. Imagine what he can do on the bigger maps. And Hainun, they just look like they're trying to cancel out every possible combination for ABC here. The shadow picking the Tasada right now, Vexed.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, why not take away their choices from ABC? And there we go, the Tasada being picked up by Hainun.
So it does look like Hainun. I think they are used to play Heroes of the Storm competitively. I think they did join the previous circuit as well, where they did take it seriously. But ever since Overwatch, I think they have switched their sights onto Overwatch a little bit more. I think they want to go competitive in Overwatch, which is why but they still play HOTS competitively, as you can see here, but more of for fun, just to test their hero pool. So in no way are they an inexperienced team. They know exactly what they're doing, as you can see just from this draft right now. Illidan being picked up early by ABC, instantly they ban out the Arbiter, and they pick up the Tassadar to prevent Illidan from getting these buffs from those heroes. So I'm really curious now as to how ABC is gonna pick up their final 2 pickups, because with Arbiter and Tassadar being denied towards them, I don't think they can go for a 5-man DPS lineup anymore. And it does look like they are gonna just negate away from that. And Tyrael, as a bruiser, does look like it's gonna be the pickup for them. It is being shadow picked right now, so really well drafted by hiNoon, I have to say, denying them of that. But Tassadar being the second pick, it is of course a supportive support as well. It's more of a supportive support. So
supportive support, yep.
Yeah, support. I mean, like I don't know how to put it. What's the term for that? A supportive
for Tyrael?
A secondary support. Okay, no, for Tassadar.
Right.
A secondary support where it's not like a hard support, so they definitely do need to pick up one more high support in hiNoon for sure. It does look like they will be going that route unless they go with a double DPS. Muradin not picked up just yet. Maybe they can go with the Muradin ETC combination. I think that would be actually pretty strong as well. And Tassadar won't really have to do much. Just the shields enough should be able to keep his team alive. Not too sure how they will go for it. Oh, oh, really?
Teasing us right here, hiNoon.
Are they watching the stream? M guy, are you tuning into the stream right now? Do you want to tease us with this Gazlowe pick? I would love this Gazlowe pick. They know exactly what's going on. They are on stream, so I think they're just teasing us. I don't expect them to go for the Gazlowe here, but who knows? They might shock us. That would be interesting to see. But yeah, ABC rounding off their picks with Sylvanas and Tyrael. See, I knew it. They're not going to go with the Gazlowe. They know they're on stream, and they know those heroes, it just never gets picked up. But yeah, they're going to round off their picks with Troll over on hiNoon, and ABC is going to be Sylvanas and Tyrael, the full lineup with Greymane, Rhaegar, as well as that Illidan. Illidan being the first pickup was a really good pick. But because they were denied the Tassadar and the Arbiter, I'm not too sure how well he fits into his team right now. Yeah. He won't have the amount of buffs that he gets from the Tassadar and Arbiter, so he won't be that big of a threat. He still is pretty strong, for sure, but he's not that big of a threat. And only with Tyrael in the front lines, I'm not too sure if they're going to be able to keep Illidan alive that long. Because if you look at Team hiNoon, they do have a pretty solid lineup as well. Aside from the secondary support of Tassadar, which I'm a bit worried about, they do have the Troll and the ETC in the front lines. Falstad and Lunara dishing out their DPS as well. And Troll, as we saw in the previous game being played by Nick Tan, the amount of damage, hero damage that Troll did as well, by no means is he not a strong bruiser in himself. So this is going to be interesting. I don't really know which team won in draft here, to be honest.
This is a really tough one. I am gonna give it slightly to hiNoon.
Really?
Yep.
I think hiNoon as well, but I don't know, man. Illidan has that edge about him slightly, but I agree with you because he doesn't have the supports needed for him to perform. But
yeah, Illidan, as you mentioned, is one of those heroes out there that is, he's really strong alone, but when you couple him together with, let's say, an Arbiter, Tassadar, he just becomes out of control. And yep, hiNoon did seal away those choices from ABC, but at the same time, ABC did ban out Uther, which is a really strong counter to Illidan.
That is true. I think maybe they shouldn't have actually banned out that Uther. But looking at hiNoon's lineup, the only problem I have is that Tassadar is the sole support. He's as I mentioned, he's more of a secondary support. He can do a lot of DPS. He's more of used as utility to wall people in, to wall people out, to disengage. So that's my only concern, is they don't really have a lot of sustain. And Rhaegar being on Team ABC, we've seen Rhaegar do work in terms of his healing for sure. So to be honest, I think ABC has this slightly better draft just in that aspect. But hiNoon definitely has a strong draft in themselves as well. And taking a look at the ETC as well, I don't really see any heroes from ABC that can cancel out that mosh pit. Aside from Sylvanas' silence, and maybe a Tyrael Divine Shield to negate the fact that he gets in the mosh pit. But aside from that, no one in Team ABC has a hard counter stun to that ETC mosh pit. So yeah, maybe I have to agree with you that instead that I have to change my mind that High Noon has the slightly better draft. If ETC especially can get off a good mosh pit, a 2 to 3 man mosh pit, that could be troublesome for ABC for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams' lineups are a bit odd. You have to admit,
Yeah, it is
High
a
Noon
bit
not
odd.
having the proper support, and ABC kind of lacking damage and no one to really pair really well with Illidan. It's gonna be a really interesting game to see.
Yeah, they do have the Grey Mane for the damage, I suppose, but yeah, it is a little bit odd for both sides. I think the fact that they just got counter drafted with Abatur and Tasada made them a little bit brain stuck. They didn't really know what to do because picking up the Illidan early on, that's what you are trying to do. But unfortunately for them, they were denied that, and Uther as well. They banned out the Uther, so I think they just got a little bit stuck in that draft with the Illidan pick off, and then they just had to work a little bit around it. But I think it's still fine. But I think High Noon does have the slightly better draft. At the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to all about execution from both teams. And we've seen what ABC can do for sure in the first game, and not just that, in their qualifiers last week as well. So I do expect them to be the slightly more experienced team in terms of execution. They have been training a lot more compared to High Noon as well. So it's going to probably come down to that. And I think ABC should have this game in the bag in terms of that. But High Noon has the slightly better draft. So because of that, it's pretty 50-50. Hopefully, we just have a good game on our hands. That's all we're looking forward to. And for those of you just tuning in, this is the Heroes Global Summer Circuit Malaysian Finals happening right now. It is, of course, a LAN event happening on site at a local cyber cafe. So there will be some tech issues, and I actually got word of the other game that's happening, Black Sheep 5 versus Sabun Warriors. There was a blue screen that happened.
Oh.
And they couldn't rejoin in the game because the way cyber cafes work is every time the PC restarts, the IP changes. So, they couldn't rejoin the game, unfortunate for one of the players. So I'm not too sure what happened there. So hopefully we will be able to see, hopefully the games will be able to continue on without hiccups in the near future. But the game has been loaded up, I believe. We're just waiting for players to ready up, pick up their heroes. And yeah, welcome to all of you just tuning in. As you can see from the picture right there, my name is Arctic Shadow, and joining me is the cool guy Bax in his sunshades. We're glad.
It's a bright day, man. I need my shades.
It's a picture, though. It's a picture. You're not casting from a car.
Well, you don't know that, do you?
Well, I hope you're casting for a car. That would be quite cool. But yeah, just quick shout outs to our sponsors while the game is going to be loaded up right now. Razer, our official peripheral sponsor, as well as XSplit, our official streaming partner. Do make sure to check their stuff out, guys. And as well, we do have a cool new feature, which is our Twitter shout outs. So go onto your Twitter, open up your Twitter accounts, and tweet at HGC SEA. I repeat, HGC SEA. Do your shout outs or give us your on, and we will manually take them and place them into our live stream. The game is, of course, going to start up here. We have Team ABC again on the blue side. It is going to be Nikkei Tan on Sylvanas, Risen on Illidan, Tanuki on Rega, Lala Land on Tyrael, as well as Ilokai on Greymane. And Genji is here. This is funny. As you can see, just some Overwatch responses, references being thrown out there by M-Guy. Over on Team High Noon, M-Guy is going to be playing the Falstad Novara this time. So he does have another hero that he can play. Hyfred is going to be playing the ETC, Dol Eater on Trial, Kandang on Tasada, and Kandang on Tasada and Mystery on Lunar. So the map is going to be Cursed Hollow, the biggest map in the hero circuit. It does look like with the Sylvanas, they do look like they want to push down this bottom tower really quickly. It does look like that's what they're going to be doing. So, and with the Illidan, look at how damage. But here comes the red side though. High Noon, they want blood. They're coming in from the side. Dol Eater though, you're in no man's land. Not too sure what he was doing as he gets taken down so quickly. A nice clean kill for them as he gets taken down so fast. And this is the problem when there's not a strong support. And this is early on in this game, we're already seeing the issue here for Team High Noon. With Tasada being the sole secondary support, he's just not able to keep Troll up, and he just got bursted down so quickly there at the bottom lane. So an early tower and an early kill for Team ABC gives them an early lead. in this matchup so far. Falstad at the top going to go up against Risen. Risen's going to have a hard time at the top lane for sure. He's definitely not going to be able to peek out. He doesn't have that much of strong of healing, but Tanuki is going to provide it now as he rotates towards that top to provide him the support that is much needed at that top lane. Middle lane, we're going to see Hyfred on the ETC as well as the Troll going up against the La La Land on the Tyrael. We're not going to see a huge amount of rotations on this map just because it is the biggest map around. So we're not going to see lane rotations all too much. It's just going to be lane sustain. As we can see, M-Guy just staying at the top. Probably ETC just the sole person that is going to rotate between lanes. Bottom, we are going to see Tasada and that Lunara going up against Nikkei Tan as well as Elo Kai. So lots of DPS at the bottom lane for Team ABC for sure. But not much happening just yet, as is, expected on this map, Cursed Hollow. Until the first tributes start to spawn, we're not going to see much action happening. It's just going to be lots of soaking and sustain of EXP.
Yeah, definitely there won't be much action on this map, especially with the drafts. There aren't really that many roaming heroes aside from maybe the ETC. The curse is where it's gonna be at.
Yeah, definitely the curse is going to be where it's be at. The tribute spawning, that's when all the clashes are going to happen. I don't expect much action from the first tribute, of course. It's going to depend on the positioning of those tributes, whether it's in favor of the blue or the red side. RNG has to be in your favor in this map sometimes if you want to get a good start off at the middle lane, though. We do see a power slide in onto La La Land, but La La Land can definitely get away here considering his Tyrael. And considering he's pretty tanky, all the cannons being used up, all the ammo in those towers being used up, Hyfred just going work, auto attacking down this middle tower. As we say that though, the first set of tributes are going to spawn. It is going to be at the top lane, a really neutral one, the first one off, spawning right dead center in the middle. So the clash is probably going to happen right there as we see all the heroes from both sides starting to rotate already. So really well played. Again, both really experienced here, as we are probably going to see a clash happening at this top lane. At the top lane, though, we see a power slide in onto Nuki. He could be in some Rega. He does not want to fall too early. M-Guy will be able to pick up the tribute early on, but Lunara is going to fall and pay for it with his life. Barrel, Tasada keeping him alive as much as he can, but Kandang is going to pay for his life again. Rooted in onto that La La Land. He's going to fall. So a nice pick off there for Team High Noon as well. M-Guy being really sneaky, picking off that tribute really quickly. He is going to fly to the back lines, trying to set something up really fast there. Barrel rolls in, but being just too low, and Elokai jumping behind his defense line, he will be able to survive there. So again, we are seeing some really weak points in the draft of Team High Noon right now, in the form of the support. As we have mentioned in the draft, they're just not able to sustain through those fights. Lunara had that shield, and that's all he got. He dropped down really early on. Tasada wasn't able to keep himself alive, and he fell as well. So this is going to be really tough for Team High Noon as this game carries on, because if you take a look at Team ABC, they definitely have a lot more sustain. And just as I mentioned, that Clash is breaking out here as M-Guy, it will be able to barrel roll over those rocks back to safety. And look at that, he has no one to heal him, no one to keep him alive, and this is just going to be troublesome for him. He's going to have to rotate back to his back defense lines to tap up. Risen in the back lines doing work onto Lunara. Power slide in onto that Illidan to stop him from doing so. Illidan, though, jumping back into the field of things. M-Guy getting dropped really low. Shield going to be popped out to keep him alive. Elokai, he has to be careful. That Greyman getting quite a bit of DOT damage, and this is turning out really well for High Noon as they take down two heroes in the form of Illidan, and as well as that Greyman. Nikkei Tan dropping low as well. Tanuki, Rega, you might want to heal yourself up this time around. And they will be able to pick up the second tribute. So I might be biting my words here, eating my tongue. Was it biting my tongue and eating my words? I got it flipped around. Sorry about that. Biting my tongue and eating my words here as Team High Noon pulling ahead, two tributes in their favor as they pick off two nice kills at that tribute.
Yeah, ABC definitely underestimated the damage output from High Noon right there in the form of Lunara as well as the Falstad. They kind of overestimated themselves, I feel.
Yeah, they did definitely overestimate themselves a little bit going in, diving too deep. But we did see a few points of again weaknesses from the support. That is just that Hasida. So Falstad having to just go back all the way just to tap the fountain to keep his HP up, and that's what happens when you don't really have a healer in your team. Next tribute is gonna spawn though this time in favor of the blue side a little bit. They do have their walls a bit more centric to them. So hopefully they will be able to get this because they can't give this away just yet. They are a level behind, but not that far. Ooh, hi Fred. Unfortunate for that. The power slide not going to connect. So the tribute is going to spawn. Lunara does look like he's going to get this uncontested. I don't agree with Team ABC giving this away that easily. They are equal on talent tiers, but they did not actually contest for that. And they are going to just give away the curse. So I definitely don't agree with that for sure.
That was a really odd decision because you give that curse, now they're gonna get level 10 even quicker than you as action happening at the bottom lane right here. Sylvanas is gonna get picked off.
Yeah, so I definitely have to agree with you there. The curse is gonna go down, and this is gonna leave them open. Look at that, the bottom towers are gonna get taken down. 4K is working on those forts right now, so I definitely disagree with them actually just giving that away uncontested when they were both level 9. So not too sure why they actually decided to do that, though they will be able to take down the top set of towers themselves with the help of those siege camps. Cut down the sole defense line at this top lane. He should be able to take down those creeps pretty easily with the help of the curse. But look at the red team. They know exactly what they're doing. They're just going to go for the opponent's boss here. And that's just going to give them an even bigger advantage right now. It's just 6 seconds left in the curse, so that's not going to play a huge role. They are going to take down the bottom set of forts. So objective secured along with that boss. That's going to help them quite a bit. But let's look, the blue team is going to pick off the red side's bosses as well. Kandang trying to stop this. Oh, M guy. Flying in, trying to stop that out. He's going to use the Mighty Gust and barrel roll over to the side. Now in the backlines though, Doll Eater comes in from that side. Sundering going to be used, but the Ancestral Healing going to keep Niketan alive. But not same can be said by the red guy as he falls in favor of the red side. And Illidan going to use his ulti to keep him metamorphosis. He's going to keep himself alive. Lunara and ETC already falling for team High Noon there as the boss now hitting down the upper forts. It does look like Team ABC is going to have to back off here. They need to deal with their own boss that is pushing down the bottom. Tower's already taken down, and the inner keep is taking quite a bit of damage. So the upper fort for the red team is going to fall. But really unfortunate for the red side. M-Guy tried to make a big play there, flying in, trying to Mighty Gust them away. Thankfully, he was able to barrel roll, but ETC just going in the back lines, getting taken down, along with that Lunara. Again, no healer to keep them alive, and that was just unfortunate there for them.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision by High Noon. They actually knew about the boss attempt because they had the Tassadar's trait from the top. And M-Guy actually didn't want to fly in straight away. He chose to Hearth back first so he can heal up and then only fly in. But that resulted in him being like 2 seconds too late and pretty much the death of his team.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much the death of the team can be said about that. And just really unfortunate for the red team. They did come out, I won't say they came out on top. They both respectively got their bosses, which helped them push down the lanes a bit. But the game is still neck and neck, even though after the first curse, though. Here comes Illidan, though. He comes in slashing and dashing away at High Fred. But Risen, he could be in some trouble here. He's getting quite a bit of DOT damage. Will he be able to survive? Mighty Gust going to be used, and he's going to be able to tap back. And with the help of Rhaegar, he's going to be kept alive as well. But he dropped really low. La La Land, though, in the background. Stereo taking quite a bit of damage. Again, Lunara doing quite a bit of DOT damage. Elokai coming with the Grey Mane from the side, trying to maybe set something up. But La La Land not going to fall. And this must be really frustrating for Team High Noon. They dropped both the Illidan and the Tyro to that last hit, but just couldn't finish him off. So that's just really unfortunate. They will be able to secure the tribute, though. So that's going to be the thing in their favor. But just must be really frustrating picking off 2 heroes down really low and just not being able to finish them off. They will be able to dig down the top set of towers, I believe, and even push in for the inner forts, while the blue side will be able to take out their siege camps to try and maybe stop this push here right now as they rotate towards that top lane. So red team, High Noon, they have to be careful. They're dropped really low right now in terms of EXP. M-Guy just has that shield, but he's at about half HP right now. So they're looking like they need to back off here. But that's the way High Fred want to set something up. Blue team has to be careful. Here comes High Fred. He goes in, going to power slide in onto that ring. He's going to use the Mosh Pit for the solo Rega as well. Tyrael going to get his Sanctification up on that area. Mighty Guy's going to be used as well as Doll Eater dropping extremely low. He's going to finally get picked off. Risen going to use that Metamorphosis to keep himself alive. A really questionable plays there by ETC going in for the solo Mosh Pit. He's going to, Falstad is going to drop there as Mystery running for his life. hiFred just having a duel with Nikitan in the side, but he's not going to do anything there. Lunara going to finally fall, and a nice 3-hero pickoff for the Team ABC. At this point, Team High Noon, I just have to question their decision making a little bit there. Not too sure why ETC went in for the solo Mosh Pit on the Rega, and I don't really think you need to be taking those kind of fights in those situations, considering you have a slight advantage in the tributes. You just have to wait for the tributes to spawn and wait for it to favor you a little bit better before going in. But it just, as a middle lane, ETC getting picked off this time, and just, I don't know, this decision making by Team High Noon seems to be a bit sketchy right now.
Yeah, definitely questionable plays by High Noon. And one thing to note is that they actually lost at 4 against 5. Sylvanas wasn't even in that clash. He was at the bottom lane trying to make his way all the way to the top.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not too sure what they were trying to do there for sure. And they lost at 4 v 5.
ETC maybe panicked right there. He went in and saw that he only got one and panicked with his ultimate.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe because, like, as we did say, no one from the blue side can cancel out his Mosh Pit. So maybe they were just trying to get down the Rega ASAP, and that would have left them open to no supports for their team. But it didn't really work out for them because, the blue side, as we mentioned, they just have quite a bit of sustain. Illidan drops down really low, but with that Metamorphosis, he's able to just come right back up. So he doesn't really need strong heals early on. He at least still has a trump card to play, which is his ultimate. So just a bit unfortunate there for the Team High Noon for sure. And they definitely need to win this to push this to game deciding number 3, though now they are one talent tier behind, a full level behind as well. So Team ABC, again, doing really good job keeping themselves ahead, even though they did lose the first set of tributes and getting cursed this early on. They were able to continue controlling the game and keeping it in their favor right now. Next tribute, though, is going to spawn here as La La Land going in, collecting that tribute. It does look like the red side are just going to give it to them uncontested, but Illidan, he wants something different. He goes in, gives a few slashes and dashes. The totem is going to be used there by Troll as well. I mean, Rega as well, but that's going to be it. It does look like the blue team, they want to go for this boss kill, though. It may not be the best decision, or they're just trying to bait out the red team from pushing this, maybe. The boss is going to, in fact, reset as now hiFred at the bottom lane, stunned in onto the Tyrael. No face melt just yet. Nice toss at the wall there to keep them out. Nice Mosh Pit going to connect as well as Rega. This is what they were looking for. Sanctification going to be used, though, to keep himself alive. And here comes the blue side. They want more. Metamorphosis is going to be used as he's just trying to poke down. Down goes the Falstad, the damage dealer. Lunara going to fall as well in the back lines. Down goes the ETC. Down goes the Tron. Tasada, the sole survivor. Well played by Team ABC there. They lost the Rega that early on. As I can say, Team High Noon, they did a really good job there. Mystery leaving the game, not too sure what happened. Was it a blue screen again or something? Again, this is going to be a land event. Yeah, might have been a rage quit. As you can see from the chat there, sorry he got too mad, but apparently he left the game. I think it's just probably some PC issues. I don't really think he actually rage quitted there. But yeah, so really this M guy there. So just really unfortunate there for Team High Noon. They initiated that really well. The wall was placed nicely. Rega got bursted down so quickly. But just as you see there, Team ABC, they have plenty of sustain themselves. Sanctification was well placed, keeping themselves alive from there. Illidan went in, Metamorphosis was used, and with no healer for Team High Noon, they just weren't able to sustain throughout the entire fight, and down they went. They just died there from there. So
yeah, for sure. That clash was looking so well for High Noon at the beginning, but as you mentioned, things turned sour for them. And one thing to note is that they were pretty much only focusing on the Illidan, and as a result, the Greymane was ripping apart the back line.
Yep, Greymane. That's what happens when you leave a Greymane to do what he does best, which is to rip apart the back line. He just goes in for the throat, literally, and just kills off everyone. And that's exactly what happens. He went in, picked off that Falstad so quickly, and then the Lunara was next, and then ECC and Troll fell in succession. There was just no stopping him, and they just died so quickly. And right now, the blue team are in a huge advantage now. I can't really see the level right now because of the pause sign, but I do believe they are 2 levels ahead, and they are going to be able to pick up their set of bosses as well here.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the boss at the bottom lane is still pushing. So at the bottom lane, the keeps are on pretty much even health.
Yep, they are pretty much even on health. So, it's gonna be interesting. And apparently, I'm getting word from the admin on site that Mystery's PC crashed. I think it was a blue screen, and again, this is some issues when you have LAN tournaments. They didn't really have any issues during the offline qualifiers though, so I'm not too sure why this time around there seem to be so many issues. But Mystery's PC has, I think, crashed. Not too sure if it's a blue screen, but they have to restart the PC, and this is where I'm a bit afraid of. They might not be able to rejoin the game due to the IP change that PCs at cyber cafes get when they restart. So hopefully we will be able to see him rejoin the game, because it would be unfortunate there if he's unable to. I think the rules state that they just have to continue playing. I'm not too sure what the actual rule is, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to have to continue playing on if the PC crashes, if it's like after 5 minutes or something. So we'll see.
Yep. And how do they get back into the game right now here, I think?
Honestly, as I mentioned from the get-go of the draft, they just didn't have the sustain. Yes, they were able to deny the Tasada and the Arbiter for the Illidan, but as we can see now, Illidan is still such a strong hero, even without those 2 lineups. And because you're just focusing down the Illidan, because your mindset is that Illidan is just so strong, he's so OP, we need to kill him fast, that you're leaving out the Grey Main. You're leaving out the Grey Main, and Grey Main's coming in from the sides and just ripping apart your team in the backlines while you're focusing entirely on the Rhaegar and the Illidan. So I think they need to change that a little bit. They need to try and maybe take down the Rhaegar. I mean the Grey Main first before focusing their sights onto Illidan maybe. But I think right now all they need to do is get pickoffs. That's the only thing they can do. And if Team ABC were smart, they would not allow them to do so. They would just definitely stick as a team as 5 and just push, and it does look like that's what they have been doing. So I really don't know what team High Noon can do to come back into this game, because they just need to just keep their composure, and with no hard support to keep them sustained throughout those fights, it's going to be tough. I think the last pick of Falstad was not needed, to be honest, because
was the first pick.
Was it the first pick though? What was their last pick? Troll, yeah. So I think the Troll wasn't necessary as a last pick. I think they should have gone for a Tyrande or even a Malfurion as a last pick, because I think they did have the DPS in Falstad and Lunara already, and they just needed the sustain. So I don't know. We'll just have to see if they can get back into this game. As you mentioned before, very serious about this. I wouldn't say they're not serious about it. They definitely have prize money to play for, so they definitely want to win. They just haven't really been training much. So for those of you just tuning in, you are tuning into the Heroes Global Summer Circuit Malaysian Finals, where we are trying to narrow down from 4 teams to 2 to represent Malaysia in the C Regionals, which will be happening, I believe, sometime mid-May. I believe 2 weeks from now, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're just tuning in, this is Arctic Shadow, and joining me is Bex. We are going to be bringing you the cast for the rest of the day. This is just the first matchup here. I believe we still will have the winners bracket finals, and then finally the grand finals that will be happening today. So hopefully we won't have too many of these tech issues, because it is going to draw out the day a little bit if we continue having these tech issues here and there. So hopefully we will be able to pull through without any more further tech issues, Bex.
Yep, hopefully, man. Really hope so. And of course, it's not just on our parts, the viewers as well, the players, they're the ones that are going through the most stress.
Yeah, definitely. They are on site, they're waiting, and they're playing for the games. They imagine such a hyped up game, and then just pause, and then you get a blue screen, and if you're unable to join back into the game, that could cause some troubles for you, and it just brings down your team morale for sure. Imagine if you were ahead. It just so happens in this game that they're behind, but imagine if you were ahead, and then just you get a blue screen and you're forced to play on before V5, and then you lose out. You're always going to blame that blue screen that caused you that loss for sure. But hopefully we won't have any more further tech issues. Right now, we just looks like we are gonna see the blue side taking down this upper boss. I don't think the red team that Soltasada is gonna be able to stop that. But yeah, right now we're just waiting for the game to restart up. Still waiting for teams to reconnect, I guess. Hopefully he will be able to do so though.
Yep. And as we've mentioned before, of course, 2 new heroes are coming up into Heroes of the Storm, Medivh as well as Chromie.
Yep. Have you seen the spotlights for both of these heroes?
I have not, sir.
I have. So, Chromie is going to be a really annoying mage. Okay, so he's going to be a really annoying mage. So he has, his first skill is basically like a magic missile in a way. It just goes through and does damage. But the nice thing about it is it doesn't hit creeps. So it only hits heroes. So it hit the first hero. So you can basically time it really well. It has a 1 second delay and it's just really annoying. His second skill is an AoE damage dealer thing. Like he drops sand from the sky or something like that. And it just hits in an area of effect. The thing about that skill is that no one can see where he's targeting. So it's invisible to the opponents. Yeah, so they're not able to dodge out from those skill shots because they're not able to see where he's actually placing that his second skill. His third skill is a sand trap because he is pretty squishy. So basically he places invisible, I'm not too sure if they are invisible, but sand traps all around, and when people walk into them they basically just get stasis for 2 seconds. So that's like a sand trap to keep himself from dying. So he puts them all over his lanes, and then if they get trapped up, he can just retreat back into his base. His ultimate, I believe, he has 2 ultimates. One ultimate is, if you know Warlock's ulti from Dota. Not that I want to compare it to Dota, but yeah, Warlock's ulti from Dota.
Summon the Infernal, yeah.
No, not Infernal, the one that slows.
Oh, right.
Slows. There's no more Infernal, so now he slows in an area. So but the thing is, he doesn't need to channel it. So he just places it there, and then it slows for up to 50%. So the longer it starts from 10% and it goes up to 50% over the course of 2 seconds, and everyone in that area is slowed.
So to put it in terms of heroes, it's kind of like Earthquake, I believe, from Thrall.
Yeah, it's kind of like Earthquake from Thrall. Yeah. But yeah, it's unchanneled. The other ultimate is, I can't remember now.
That's fine.
Crap. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it's that. And one special thing about Chromie, because he's the master of time, as I mentioned, he's from World of Warcraft story, he's the master of time. He gets all his talents 1 level ahead of everyone else.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah, so instead of level 10 of getting his ulti, he gets it at level. Instead of level 7, he gets it at level 6. So he's always 1 talent tier ahead of everyone. That's the interesting part of him. So I really like that, him being the master of time. So in the World of Warcraft lore, he gets all his talent tiers 1 ahead, and that's going to be pretty interesting, I would have to say. Pretty interesting. So he's just a really annoying hero, basically. A really annoying mage. He slows a lot. He throws out quite a few, skills. He doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but he just does a lot of heals and everything. So apparently Mystery has lost their connection. This is what I was afraid of. Because I know that rejoining game has to do with IP. Like it's something to do with static IP. If you reconnect from the same IP, you can definitely reconnect. But if you're once you at a cyber cafe and you restart your PC, your IP changes instantly. So I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to reconnect here. So apparently we're getting word from the admin that oh wait, hold on. He's back in the game? I don't know. Hi, sorry, PC got too angry. Oh, he is actually able to reconnect to the game.
Oh, strange. It says lost.
Yeah, lost their connection, but he's able to chat. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm confused here. Come on,
Fix
please.
your game, please.
Yeah, fix your game, please. It said Mystery has lost connection, but he gets back into the game. So I think we're gonna wait it out and see if they will be able to unpause it. Hello?
That's fine. I mean, since we're on the topic of new heroes, I believe Medivh is a CC master or something of the sort.
Yeah, he is a CC master, though. To be honest, after seeing the spotlight and speaking to Safiria from Black Sheep 5, he's staying at our place here. He said that I don't think that Medivh is going to huge change to the game. He's again another really annoying hero. I think he's really utility. He's going to have to be played as a strong utility hero because he has the teleport skill, which allows the rest of his team to use it to teleport to get away from sticky situations. That could be interesting. Lag again. Hello. He PP again.
Oh, okay.
Mouse problem. Tanuki has left the game, so apparently more tech issues. So okay, we can get back into Medivh again. So Medivh, he has a Raven skill. So what happens is he transforms into a Raven for I think 5 seconds. He can fly over terrain, but this is where it gets interesting. He flies over terrain, but he cannot be targeted by enemies. He's basically immune for that 5 seconds. Okay, so he's able to scout out, or he's able to get away with that. So it's pretty crazy for that. But he doesn't really do much damage. He doesn't have any damage skills, in fact, if I can remember. He has a teleport skill, again, which just basically allows his teammates to just go through the teleport to get to the other side of where he places it. So it's more of a getaway skill or an initiation skill. And then his ulti is the chain polymorph.
All right.
Which is like the living bomb. So you polymorph one target, and whoever is in the vicinity when the polymorph ends, they get polymorph. The thing about this is there is an infinite duration. So if they just keep standing next to each other, they'll just keep getting polymorph. There's no way for them to get away from it. It's not like living bomb where it only spreads once. They just keep on spreading the polymorph. So it's just going to be about teams getting away from each other in that situation. I can't remember a few of his other skills right now off the top of my head. But it's just a strong utility hero.
Yep. And you can see the players talking about Overwatch right there. And that's something we haven't mentioned. Tracer.
Yeah, Tracer. He's still banned out, though, for this series, unfortunately.
Yep. But I'm really looking forward to when he does, or rather she does become available.
Yep, it will be available next week. And I think Tracer has been a really 50-50 hero. Some have said that she's broken, and some has been said that now she's easy to counter. So what's your opinion on Tracer?
I think she's okay. I don't think it's broken per se. Really? Then again, I might eat my words once I see like really top tier plays on Tracer.
Yeah, I think we haven't seen like top players playing the Tracer yet, maybe, which is why. But personally, I've been playing a lot of Tracer when I've been playing. And it's just seemed like a strong 1v1 hero. And right now, because like the meta, there's a lot of mean assassins, especially like Illidan. Imagine you're going to be able to kite Illidan pretty crazily, like Troll as well, etc. It's only really like players like heroes like maybe Falstad that has an upper hand on that Tracer. But personally, I think it's a really strong hero for sure. So they will be able to take down the top boss. They will be able to take down the bottom boss as well earlier on. So the bottom lane has been pushed in as well. They will have the curse as well for another 20 seconds. It does look like they want to go for this inner keep. La La Land straight away diving in. They are 3 levels ahead. Forgive me. Wow. I thought it was 2 levels. They are actually 3 levels ahead. Now Sundering going to be thrown out on Nikkei Tan here. Tanuki taking quite a bit of damage. Sanctification going to be used for a solo Sanctification though. Mighty Guy's going to be used in the background to disengage this. As now the blue side, they are going to have to back off a little bit right now. No, they are just going to go straight back in. Shield going to be thrown out on the keep, but the keep should fall here. I don't see any way for them to actually keep this keep alive. highFred has to be careful here not to overextend. They will get the keep, and they are going to back off as the curse is going to end. And I believe that's going to be it for the clash. It does look like the red team want to fight this, but it may not be the best situation. highFred goes power side. That would have been the best place for a mosh pit. Not too sure why he didn't go for it there. As now a shield, a wall going to be pushed out onto Tanuki. highFred dropping really low. No shield, no heal just yet. Doll Eater in the background is going to get taken down as Chal falls. Ilokai coming in, doing work onto Mystery. He's going to try and get a shield off. highFred with the power side, going to pull himself away. M-Guy trying to do work. Nikkei Tan finally going to fall. He just overextended there a little bit, but 3 heroes dropping for the red team here. Could the blue side even end this game right here? right now? That is the question, though. It does look like they want to do that. Metamorphosis is going to be used as they pound away at this core. Only that Tasada and the Falstad remaining to defend this. You know, the lightning is going to be used to try and defend this Tasada. Ooh, Mighty Gas going to be used as well. This could be dangerous for them. Sanctification going to be used, but I think it is going to be GG. Nothing that they can do about it. Highfred going to call out the GG boys as well. So ABC going to take a convincing 2-0 win over Team High Noon, as well we can say as expected, Bex.
Yeah, they pretty much control the flow of the entire game. And ETC tried to go in right there, the final clash, but unfortunately he could not get into range of the Sylvanas. That's why he didn't throw out the Mosh Pit, because it would just get silenced straight away.
Yep, Nikkei Tan definitely the MVP of the game, as you can see, just based off siege damage and hero damage, doing both actually the most damage. Again, Illidan not high on that hero damage, which I'm pretty surprised on, and even Greyman as well. Instead, Nikkei Tan on the Sylvanas being the person that dishes out the most damage there. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, this is the Heroes Global Summer Circuit, Malaysian Finals. I believe the other game of Black Sheep 5 and Sabun Warriors is still going on. So we probably have to wait for that matchup to finish before we bring you the next cast. So we're going to go for a quick break, a short break as we wait for those games to finish up. So do stay tuned. Because and join us as we continue on following until we narrow it down to 2 final teams to represent Malaysia in the C regionals. So yeah, we're gonna go for a short break, guys. So make sure you do stay tuned while we let you know when the next games are about to start up. In comes the Sun onto Zul. He is going to be able to negate that Kyotas with the Sundering going to connect. Essential healing though, going to keep him alive. The Kurz are dropping really low as well as Tanuki finally going to fall. Rhaegar going to fall as well. Black Sheep 5 in full attack mode. 3 heroes dropping there. It is a disaster yet again for them.